What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at some more concept art for Across the Spiderverse. And to be fair, this is the most concept art I've ever seen for a film. Quick little thing here before I get into anything. There was supposed to be a dimension where a kid was playing with a toy of action, like an action figure of Spider-Man, and it was just supposed to be like a kid's hand moving a toy around the screen for a little while. I thought that would have been quite funny, but it would have like distracted from the story a little bit, so I'm kind of glad that they didn't do it, or they at least cut it short. Here is another dimension that we were supposed to get a quick look at in Across the Spiderverse. It's very colourful, it's very pop, but I like this next one here. This one is so much more colourful. It looks like an alien space. It reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Technodrome that they're in, but it's Gwen and Miles, I do believe, who are driving this spaceship. It looks a little like Rick and Morty's spaceship as well. It's just very colourful, and I like colour. It's very neon, and it looks quite funny. I don't know why they'd be in this situation, how they'd be in this situation. They're in a giant spaceship. There's asteroids in the background. There's a big robot talking to them. But then we have a sort of Japanese painting dimension as well, where it looks like Attack on Titan with a big Titan in the background, and then like a samurai Spider-Man. It just looks really cool. All the clouds and the Titan that's attacking them. I don't know if it's a village or if it's like a forest there, and Spider-Man's going against it, or Samurai Spider-Man, should I say. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a big Titan, if it's a big pig, or if it's a big monster, I don't know. But this one looks really cool. This is like Happy Tree Friends, something along the sorts of that. Looks very violent, very sort of dangerous. But we have sort of Gwen, Hobie, and who is it? Miguel. And I do believe that's like a scorpion there. This is very cartoony. It looks very bloodthirsty. It's like Happy Tree Friends. I don't know why, but the characters have sort of taken on the look of this dimension as well. Normally they don't do that. Like Hobie still has his sort of look no matter what dimension he's in. But in here, Hobie sort of changed to fit this vibe, unless that's a different Hobie to the one that we see in the movie, but it would have been quite a fun, chaotic little scene if we got that in the thing. But taking a look at some more art by Chris, we have if you remember the one scene where there was like a cafeteria and Miguel had his own burger, we have the Spider Chef. This is actual Spider-Man, where Spider-Man did get turned into a spider, and I do believe he took the role of the chef in the Spider Society to make the burgers. He has the hands for it, but he has a lot of like hair that could fall into the food. That is quite gross. I do like his design. I do like how he has a massive head but a little hat. It's very funny. And it just goes to show like all the thought and ideas that they put into these characters. And here we have the Prowler, which is played by no, this is like his live action comic design, and he actually was the one who inspired Miles Morales to be created, which is quite cool. So it's nice to go full circle and have him be the uncle and in the film. We also have two different versions of Spinner and Spinette, but this is like Mary Jane as Spider-Man and her kid, and I think there was two different designs, one for the Spinette being a toddler and one for her being a sort of teen. And I do believe they went for the teen version in the film, and that sort of took on Mary Jane's outfit from the last Spider-Verse film. But moving on to another artist here, we have some like concept art and sort of different poses and dynamic poses for the characters made by sanfordgreene, and he made some promotional art for the characters. He was head of the promotional side of the characters and the dynamic poses and sort of experimenting with how their costumes would look and how they would look in different poses. And we have Miles here in some really extravagant sort of acrobatic poses as he's like swinging, jumping, flying around. These aren't too detailed drawings because obviously they're just quick sketches of how the characters would look and sort of be just running around. And I don't think all of these quick images have the accurate costumes either. But here's Gwen. She has the sort of most sort of like she does like ballet, so she's the most flexible and the sort of acrobat with her legs doing sort of splits and stuff here. One of her legs looked backwards in one of those pictures as well. Gwen isn't my favorite character, but there is a lot of promotional art for her. But moving on to my absolute favorite, here's Hobie, and he has a lot of different sort of poses with his guitar. He also has a different costume in this image than he does in the actual movie. He's spinning his guitar around his neck, he's using it as a gun, he's swinging from his guitar, he's playing it. He looks really cool, and he is just like absolutely basic drawing this guy right here. It's not detailed at all. It's just sort of like quick little scribbles down to throw him into sort of poses and see how cool he looks. They did spend a lot of time trying to create his art style, so I do understand all the struggles they had with him, and there is some really cool like poses here. He's surfing on his guitar, he's swinging it, he's playing it, he's shooting webs from it. He's falling down playing it like Miles was falling down looking at his phone in the Spider-Man Miles Morales game. I like a lot of these images of him riding on the guitar, but we never actually saw that in the film. But it would have been nice to see like him just like swinging around, riding on his guitar. It would have been cool. Here we have him slamming through. This is him breaking stuff, swinging his like guitar as like an axe or like a melee weapon. But the bigger ones have more detail, obviously, and the littler ones are just sort of different poses and sort of working out how to sort of design him and how he would work as a character. He does have a lot of detail in him. He has a lot of different stickers, colours, sort of pins, badges all over his costume and his guitar. He has spikes everywhere. And his hair, I don't know how his hair fits in his mask. He has so much of that hair. But moving on to war, like apocalyptic Spider-Woman, there is so much promotional art and sort of promotional products for this character. Like she has figures, she has Funko Pops, she has bags, and like she's on most of the posters, but she wasn't actually in the film for that long. She didn't get I don't think she had a line of dialogue. She was just chasing Miles, and I do believe she was in it for a good 15 seconds at max. But there is a lot of posability for her character's promotional art, and then here is some official images of her for promotional art. We have her running forward. To be fair, with all the promotional art, everyone thought she'd have a bigger role in the film, but nope, she was only in it for a little while, but she is one of the most detailed characters in the film, so it is understandable. They want to get the most out of their art. Moving on to Pravita. This isn't the costume he actually used in the movie, and his hair isn't that curly, but he has the weirdest poses. I don't believe this man has bones in these pictures. Some of the poses he's in, he's very dynamic and sort of nimble as well. Like some of the poses here, like that bottom left one, I don't think that's actually possible for me to do. He's very sort of angled as well. He has like good angles in his drawings for these pictures. He doesn't sort of flow. He just looks very jagged and in weird positions. I don't know, I can't get over how weird these positions are, but this isn't the suit used in the film. It looks slightly different with different markings, and I think that's really cool. And he isn't actually using his bangles. Moving on to Ben Reilly, a lot of quick sketches for him here. His sort of lines in the movie were very like dark, brooding, very muscle based, and you can definitely tell they went for the more comic design to make him stand out with his muscles like they do with like Thor or Hulk. But I like some of the more simpler art of him in the background there without the sort of shading on the muscles. I think that looks a lot better. But yeah, he wasn't my favorite character in the film. A lot of people say he was ruined by the film, but I thought he was cool, just not my favorite out of the film. He was definitely outshined by some of the other characters. I was kind of excited to see him, but he was definitely outshined. And there's so much concept art on him for him to be in the film a lot less compared to other characters. But I definitely think he'll be in the second film a lot more. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Have a nice day and goodbye. And actually, I changed my mind. Gwen did send him home, so I don't think he'll be back. He's probably stuck in his own dimension.